UFC Mexico just wrapped up, and I'm gonna be giving y'all my breakdown on what happened, my review of my predictions. So yeah, let's get into it. Starting off with the first fight, Damian Pinas, Pinas versus Wes Schultz. I thought Wes Schultz was like okay. No, he's garbage. He's garbage. That's I saw him get that silhouette stretch, and I thought he was good. I'm not gonna lie, that shit baited me. And Damian Pinas just walked him down. Wes Schultz, he fought like he was high. I'm not gonna lie. He fought like he just took a 400 milligram edible and stepped in the cage. Yeah, Damian Peanuts destroyed him. I believe I did have Damian Peanuts by round 1 or 2 TKO, but still, man, I thought, or I might even have decision, but I don't know. But I thought Wes Schultz was gonna provide something. No, he did not. And these three significant strikes, yeah, they weren't significant at all. Um, I don't know what those strikes were from. Maybe some Eminari rolls. He accidentally kicked him or something. I don't know. Up next, Eric Silva versus Francis Marshall. I said Francis Marshall by whatever he wants. He took him down and subbed him. That's it. That's it. That is it. Like, there's not much else to it. Eric Silva's not UFC caliber, man. And Francis Marshall is actually pretty good. I can see him. I can see him tapping into the rankings soon. Well, actually, I'm not gonna say that now. I mean, he just beat Eric Silva. Like, come on. Up next, Regina Turin versus Ernesta Caracante. Now, I had Regina Turin getting the finish. Unfortunately, she didn't, but it was a scrap. This fight was crazy. They were just throwing the entire fight. Honestly, this was probably my fight of the night. This was my fight of the night for sure. And Regina Turin, I believe she came in as an underdog, stepping up on short notice, her UFC debut. And Caracate is pretty good. But man, Regina Turin, I told y'all, man, she's good. She's good, and she has finishing instincts. She hurt Ernesta in the first round and swarmed on her. Ernesta Caracante ended up surviving. But man, this whole fight, it was close, back and forth. Great performance from Caracate as well. These girls really threw down, and this is what you want from a Mexican fighter. You think of Mexico, you think of scrappers, you think of boxing, and this is what we got. One of my favorite fights on the card for sure. Great performance. I can see her going far just because the division is so weak. I do believe she's very open on the feet, but man, I'm looking forward to her future. And I don't say that a lot about WMMA fighters just because the skill level is usually a lot lower. But man, this was fun. This was fun. So congrats to Regina Turin. Look forward to your next fight. Up next, Douglas Silva de Andrade versus Javier Reyes. I picked Douglas Silva de Andrade, and it almost came true. It almost came true, man. Like they didn't count it, but he lands a nasty right overhand in the first round, and pretty much floors Javier Reyes. But I'm not gonna lie. Other than that, Javier Reyes just pieced him up and finished him at the end of the first. But to be fair, once he got the knockdown, he kind of just held back mount. It was a little premature, in my opinion, but I'm not really mad at the stoppage, um, because I think he would have been finished anyway, and he wasn't really defending much. Like, he wasn't crazy hurt. He was just kind of stuck there. But he wasn't gonna win this fight. I'm gonna be honest. He started to fade at the end of the first as well. So congrats to Javier Reyes. He looked pretty good. Moving up next, Christian Quinones versus Chris Moutinho. I don't even want to talk about this fight, bro. This fight sucked. Chris Moutinho is probably the worst fighter in the modern era's history. And that's not just me trying to dog on him. It's just genuinely, like, it's unfortunate because the way he came into the UFC, right? Stepping up on like a day's notice against Sean O'Malley, tough pull. And then he re-enters the UFC against Malcolm Wellmaker. Man, slept out cold. And Christian Quinones isn't even that good. I'm not gonna lie. Christian Quinones looked like shit, man. He looked like shit. He looked okay in the first, but other than that, man, he looked like shit. Like, against a guy like Chris Moutinho, like, take some risk, man. Actually try to get a finish. Oh man, this fight was just so shit to watch. I don't think Christian Quinones is good. I just think Chris Moutinho is really bad. So yeah, moving up, Aline Perez versus Macy Chasson. I had Aline Perez by a submission. She ends up getting the decision win. They both look like shit on the feet. I'm not gonna lie, they both look like shit on the feet, but Alan Perez's wrestling has improved massively. I didn't think she'd be able to get as many takedowns as she did, but I also thought she would do a little bit better with the jiu-jitsu on the ground. But Macy Chasson doing well to defend the submissions, but I don't know. It wasn't a crazy fun fight, and I never expected it to be a crazy fun fight. I'm happy Alan Perez got the win though. That's that's all I can say. Macy Chasson's on the way down. We need some better prospects in this division. So congrats to Alan Perez. Up next, Ryan Gonder versus Jose Medina. Uh, Coughing baby, bro. Jose Medina sucks. You know what? It's a tie. Chris Matinho and Jose Medina might be the two worst fighters in UFC history. And I don't think that's a hot take. Um, Ryan Gondra, solid striking, but how he attempted 3 strikes and he didn't land a single strike. What the fuck? But it's like I can't take anything away from this win because it's Jose Medina. And hey, with those new 25K finish bonuses, that was free bread, free change for Ryan Gondra. So you know what? Happy for him. Got the 25K. Up next, Santiago Luna versus Angel Pacheco. I expected Santiago Luna to get a finish. He did not. However, he still looked really good. Angel Pacheco gave him some problems early in the first round, but after that, Santiago Luna just started piecing him up the entire fight. Great performance, styling on him, landing anything he wanted. Great performance from him. There's not really much else for me to say. This old ass looking Umar didn't really do shit after the first round, so good job to Santiago Luna. Moving up next, Emmanuel Rodriguez versus Kevin Borjas. This fight was crazy. We almost saw Emmanuel Rodriguez get destroyed, but then he comes back and sleeps Kevin Borjas. Ends up getting a performance bonus from it as well. Now, this fight, I had some shit going on at the crib, so I was kind of tuning in and out. Another reason why this video is so late. But anyway, Emmanuel Rodriguez looks good, and the power he has at this division is special for sure. And Kevin Borjas is not bad at all. You know, we've seen Kevin Borjas give some tough guys problems. So a young guy like Emmanuel Rodriguez getting a knockout win here, getting a 100K bonus to put towards his training. This is really big for him. And he went through some punishment too. He went through a lot of adversity. So this is going to be a learning experience for him. I think this is probably the best thing that could have happened. Obviously, you don't want to take that much brain damage, right? But when it comes to adversity and going through that at a young age and still getting the victory, you get a lesson and you get the win, right? So your stock doesn't go down and you start to learn from these fights. So yeah, I think Emmanuel Rodriguez is going to go far in this division. Congrats to him. And also good performance from Kevin Borjas. I thought he did pretty well. Edgar Chairez versus Felipe Buns. Edgar Chairez made it way too close. I don't know why it was this close. Wins by split decision. Did he really? There's no way Felipe Buns actually got. Okay, well, I forget ground strikes. I forget. Yeah, Felipe Buns had top position for a while, but Edgar Chairez was landing the harder shots. But man, this disappointed me because I've seen Edgar Chairez give problems to Tyra and Van, and he looks like this against Felipe Buns. It's kind of like, you know, I had hopes, I had ranked aspirations for this guy, but doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Up next, Daniel Zellhuber versus Bobby Green. Speaking of ranked aspirations, Daniel Zellhuber sucks. And now I'm starting to question how I view Esteban Ribovics and how I'm going to go forth with this Gamrot versus Ribovics prediction. Because holy shit, did Daniel Zellhuber look like garbage. And 39-year-old Bobby Green, masterclass performance. just piecing him up in the boxing. Look faster than him and ends up catching him badly. Like Bobby Green puts him out badly. I don't know where he goes from here. After the Esteban Ribas performance, it could have gone his way, but I'm thinking this guy's gonna be crazy. This guy, I had him and Ignacio Bahamondes in that same sort of tier, but nah. This guy's done. This guy's done. He doesn't have it. And it's sad because he's so young. I think he's only 26, so it's really sad that he's this young and is on this huge losing streak when it was so promising before. And yeah, I was really confident in my pick with Daniel Zellhuber. But man, Bobby Green, man, this reminds me of the Grant Dawson shit. I don't know how the fuck he does it, but he does it. And he did it. So congrats to Bobby Green. It's always good seeing a vet like him get a win. I'm glad he still has his job. And Bobby Green in 2026 is on a win streak. Let that sink in. Up next to the co-main event. Oh my god. This shit pissed me off too, bro. David Martinez versus Marlon Chito Vera. I'm convinced Chito just doesn't like fighting anymore. I'm convinced he just doesn't want to, like, hurt people or something. David Martinez clearly wins the first 2 rounds. The third round, Chito actually wobbled him a little bit because he actually started to throw, right? Jason Perillo's in his ear, like, you got to get this done. Give everything you got. And then he finally starts to throw in the third round when it's too late, like he does every single fight, man. It's so frustrating to watch because you look at this guy when he's actually throwing and he looks like a top-level guy. He looks like he could really be something. But when he doesn't get that one shot, like he can't win. He can't win decisions, man. So David Martinez wins the first 2 rounds clearly, and then Chito wins the third. But I don't know, man. I think, like, I don't want to say he should get cut because he has been fighting very good opposition. But it's like, man, you could have beat Ayman Zahabi. You could have won this fight too if you were actually throwing. I know you have cardio for it. I just don't get it, man. I don't get the mentality. Like, I get you want to be tactical and you want to wait for that perfect shot. You're a sniper. You got that power. But you're getting older, man, and these guys are starting to realize that. These guys are starting to realize that volume will kill you. You still got the chin. You still got the power. You still got the skills. Just go for it, man. Like, I'm not saying just go in and brawl the entire time, but start throwing your hands. At least try to match the pace of your opponent, right? And if you're not going to match him, at least stay active enough to land the harder shots and get the judges calling your name. You feel me? Like, I don't know. He has the power. That's the thing. Like, he hits harder than 99% of these guys. He just doesn't throw, man. It's so frustrating to watch. I think he might have the lowest IQ in the UFC. Dead ass. And it sucks 'cause I love Cheeto as a fighter, man. Like, his style is so sick when he's actually going. Man, disappointing. I had David Martinez by decision, and he got it done. Up to the main event. I did not have Loner Kavanagh by decision. Holy shit. Brandon Moreno, what the fuck happened? And honestly, I don't even want to make this a thing about Brandon Moreno being washed because I think that's going to be the narrative going forward. But Loner Kavanagh looked really fucking good. And his cardio was so much better than I expected. And we see him go into these later rounds. And even though Brandon Moreno is starting to gain more momentum in the later rounds, landing more, Loner Kavanagh's holding his own. We didn't see him crumble. And early round two, damn near slimes out Brandon Moreno. Hurts him badly. Has him doing the chicken dance all over the place. And he swarms on him. Moreno's tough, though. Moreno's tough. Good recoverability. But after that, like, the first 3 rounds could have been Loner Kavanagh. I think they were. But Loner Kavanagh's leg kicks were killing Brandon Moreno as well. I want to see the striking difference in that second round. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought, but man, and Loner Kavanagh, when he throws, man. Okay, maybe. But when Loner Kavanagh throws, he throws hard, dude. Like, this guy's a beast. And to think, he just got knocked out by Charles Johnson, and now he's gonna be the number 6 ranked fighter in the world. So yeah, congrats to Loner Kavanagh. I'm thinking they give him a no cop. Loner Kavanagh versus Manel Cop, title eliminator. And yeah, man, those are my thoughts. This was a great card, much better than expected. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.